Hey guys, so I'm going to talk to you about upgrading the brakes on your GMC Yukon, Chevy Silverado, Tahoe, all that kind of stuff. So first things first, it's not quite done yet, but this is the biggest thing that you have to do. The master cylinder cannot be reused. I don't have any brake fluid, so I gotta wait to get brake fluid and get the new master cylinder and all that hooked up. So you need one of these, a Hydroboost master cylinder, Hydroboost booster. It runs off your power steering pump. You will have to get some lines. I will post the part numbers in the description on which lines you need. There's a gasket that goes between this and the firewall, and there's a couple things you'll need to do. So first things first is this thing. The bolt pattern is slightly different when it mounts up through the firewall. One bolt is slightly off down here, this one here. So to get that to go through, there's a little dimple on the firewall. All you do is you drill that out to 1/2 inch, and the bolt will slide, well, the stud will slide right on through, and that way you can run that through. So that's how you get that one to mount up, and the lines will go through and they'll connect here, here, and this is a return. This will go back to your power steering pump. You will need a new power steering pump. So this one has two returns. So it has this one up here that's plugged off, that's a return, and then it has this one down here that's also a return. So the new power steering pump you have to get is a return. It costs the exact same, I believe, or pretty close to a regular power steering pump. Yes, the motor's out. I'm building it if you haven't watched the videos already. So that's what you need up front, and you will need a new master cylinder as well. I will post a link to that in the description as well. So the big things down here in the footwell, you will need a new brake pedal. I will post a link to the part number in that as well. And as you can see, there's where the old hole was. You're gonna have to fill it up. I'm gonna have to fill it up. The gasket doesn't cover it up all the way, unfortunately. So there's a little hole in the plate. So you can fill it with RTV. That's what I'm gonna do. So to get this out, the old pedal, what you're gonna need to do is you're gonna need to disconnect this connector here. This clip needs to be pulled out. You can use a screwdriver. There's that tab right there, right at the tip of my finger. It has to be pushed up. It has to be pushed up, and then it can be pulled out. It's kind of weird how it goes on there. You probably fuss with it. I mean, I looked up how to do it, and I still fussed with it for about 5 to 10 minutes before I got it out. So once that clip is out, this connector's out, you can start to be careful with this. So you'll wait on this until you get the bolt up here. So up here, you'll have that, and that'll be an 18 millimeter. This right here, that bolt will be an 18 millimeter. And on the opposite side, I can't show you on camera. There's no way for you to see it with the dash in. On the opposite side, there will be the head of the bolt will also be an 18 millimeter. You have to use a 3-inch extension on a 18 millimeter deep well socket and a 3/8 drive ratchet. And it will be on there tight. And once you get it off, it doesn't come off easy either, because the threads have this special type of Loctite on there, and it makes it difficult to get it all the way off, and you're going to work at it. And I put Loctite back on there, so it's not coming off. I use the Vibratite red Loctite, so it doesn't go anywhere. It is the brake pedal, so kind of want that to be not going anywhere. And keep an eye on the orientation of that switch as well. I believe that is important. So mine, the connector faced straight down, so that's the way I have it. That's the way I'm going to leave it. It kind of sits that way as well on its own, but just make sure you keep an eye on that. So yeah, it's that bolt, that clip, and then this part right here, this plunger, that just slides on to where that metal clip is. So once you have that metal clip off, and you get this plastic piece off, pretty much you're going to have to slide the pedal to the right or the plunger to the left from looking at the firewall, and that'll have it come off. And be careful with it. That plastic is probably pretty brittle. I was pretty dainty with it. And that is how to get, and these parts pretty much go to an 02 2500. The whole thought process behind it is to get rid of that mushy brake pedal, that mushy pedal, and the overall, lack of braking power. So that's how you do that. And I'm actually going to take you guys in the garage and show you what parts I got. Alright, back. So this is the gasket. That's the part number to it. It's just this foam piece. This is one of the power steering lines. As you can see, the part number there. One of the pressure lines. This is also one of the pressure lines. There's a part number for you there as well. This one doesn't. Oh, there it is. It's on here somewhere. That's the return line. So yeah, you'll need those hoses. The gasket. I don't have the part number to the booster itself offhand. Here's the new master cylinder. It has to be bench bled. And part number 4 is on the box. Should be. It's an AC Delco box. Here it is. Master cylinder. That's the part number to it. Yeah. There it is. And the connector should be identical. Now, before you install that brake booster, the brake master cylinder, before you install the master cylinder, it has to be bench bled. There is no way around it. It has to be bench bled, so you have to hold it on a vise or something to hold it level. Then you're going to connect tubes to the 2 outlets where the brake lines would go and run those tubes back into the reservoir, and then you'll actuate it by hand until there's no air coming out through those lines. It helps to have clear lines, and then when that's good, then you can hook it up and connect it to the actual vehicle and then connect it to the lines. So that's what you want to do when it comes to that. The power steering fluid will have to be filled again, because when you update to the Hydroboost system, you're going to add capacity to your power steering system, so your reservoir is going to run low if you don't add any. So I would recommend adding fluid to your power steering system. That way, you don't run it dry and risk damaging the brand new pump that you just bought, or the old pump with the new reservoir that you purchased, depending on the route you go. I believe you can buy the reservoirs separate. The power steering pump itself is the same. It's just the reservoir that's changed. That's all it's changed. The reservoir itself has that fitting on there. That's all that changes between the non-Hydroboost and the Hydroboost power steering pumps. That's all you have to do is just get a new reservoir, and the reservoir is pretty cheap, and you just have to take your pump off if you're trying to do this as cheaply as possible. I would not get a remanufactured. Do not get a remanufactured Hydroboost booster. You'll probably hate your life. Buy a brand new one. However you got to do it, buy a brand new one. All right, thanks for watching. I hope this helps answer some questions about if you want to upgrade your brakes and you don't want to go and buy big brakes or something like that and get new wheels, new tires, and expensive rotors and pads and calipers and all that jazz. You can do that instead. I think overall you're looking at like $300, $350 is what I spent. I'll post links in the description below. Thanks for watching. Enjoy your day.